everyone. Greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Y'all, I know it has been over a month since I've come on this channel, since I've addressed you all, since I've actually come on just to speak to you all. Haven't made any videos. I've been dealing with a lot behind the scenes as usual. All right. Excuse the hair. I got the frizzies. It's like 80 degrees out here where I'm located right now. I got so hot, I had to change out of my Brown Girls a Beautiful hoodie. And so I put this t shirt on. But I'm just out here near some water where the ducks are. I'm going to turn the camera around so y'all can see. See, this is what we got going on out here. And so we can actually ride the little paddle boats and stuff. So I just decided because I came out here to meet a few customers for selling my T-shirts, my clothing brand, and I decided to go ahead and just come out here and take in some fresh air, enjoy the weather, y'all. But I just want to talk about the distractions that's going on out here. As you may know, right now they are shoving these political candidates down our throats. And I'm quite tired of it. I think there are so many distractions going on just to keep our minds targeted and focused on things that we really need to be paying attention to. Such as yesterday, I was out with my friend and we were at another location last night around, it was like after 8 p.m., maybe like close to 9 or around that time frame. Anyway, it was dark outside when she saw something that shot up in the sky and it dispersed and had sparks flying from it. She said it was so fast, I didn't even see it. So she asked around to see who else saw it. This other lady, she said she didn't see it. She was getting in her car. But across the parking lot, there was this dude out there, and he was like, I saw it, I saw it. So, y'all, it's a lot of activity going up in the skyways that we need to be paying attention to. We need some telescopes, we need binoculars out here. And, y'all, we started photographing this light that was up in the air. And I lie to you not, I kid you not, the thing started flashing at me. Like it pulsated. And I have it saved on my phone. And she showed me the same thing, did the same thing to her weeks ago. So, y'all, I even heard that she told me out in DC there was some type of crash landing of some type of unidentified flying object. So all this P. Diddy stuff, I feel like it's just a distraction to keep our minds discombobulated. I feel like they're shoving Kamala Harris down our throats. Every time I ride down the interstate, there her billboards all are all over the place. I'm seeing her commercials every time I tap into YouTube. I'm tired of seeing it. And I just want to say this. If she really was a melanated woman, right? If she really was a melanated lady, instead of her name being pronounced Kamala, which sounds like Pamela, it would have been pronounced Kamala, okay? Because that's how I say it. That's how melanated women say it, but it's not. If, again, I'm going to say this again, if Kamala Harris were a real melanated woman, her name will be pronounced Kamala instead of Kamala. All right. And this is the CEO and founder of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. And I endorse this message. I'm telling y'all, just like that. So I'm so sick and tired of them trying to endorse her down our throats. Another thing, people keep saying that Donald Trump is a racist. And I don't really feel that he is a racist, y'all. I think this is something that has been it's like media propaganda. That's one of the biggest forms of trickery that's weaponized against our community in particular. If you ask me what I think we need to be independent. I think we need to vote independent because just voting Democrat, voting Republic is only going to keep us divided and divisive. It keeps people not liking one another. People just, they don't even like their family members because of their political stance, which I think is absolutely insane and crazy. I'm going to tell you another thing that I totally disagree with. When people leave out of this world or they transition out of this world, If you watch my other channel, then you will know that I unfortunately had a situation that went on in my family. Somebody that's very, very so near and dear to me that I love, just love. And she transitioned, y'all, unexpectedly about 4 weeks ago. And I did post about it on my other channel. So if you are subscribed to that channel, you can take a look at the behind the scenes footage of everything with that and on my Patreon. But I found it very interesting that this, person of my family was a member of the church. And despite her giving to the church and being a member of the church still charges a fee to hold the funeral service, unbeknownst to me, because I've never had dealt with any like that or been through that before, this close. Um, Also, they charge for people to sing, just to do different things when it comes to the funeral arrangements. I was unaware that they charge that, even if the person is a member and even if the person donated to the church, which I find that that's kind of greedy, even for the pastor to do the eulogy, even though the pastor may consider your relative as a part of their church family or a really close friend of theirs, they still charge for these things. And I just don't think that they should be charging for that. Like they say, you got to come into this world, you got to pay when you come in the world, you got to pay when you leave the world. I mean, it's just ridiculous, y'all. So, if I could stress anything to you all, is to make sure you get some life insurance coverage. Get life insurance, you all, because you can never have too much. I would say that it's never too late, but sometimes it can be too late to get life insurance. So please get life insurance. Things happen so unexpectedly. Like this was so unexpected what happened to her, and my heart still hurts. I am still in pain about it. I just feel a certain way even talking about it right now. And I miss her dearly. And the way that she left us, it was so sudden. She wasn't sick. We don't really all the way understand why this had to happen. But whenever things like this happen, please be prepared. Take life insurance out on your family members, your relatives, just because you never know what might happen. And, it's very difficult for families at a time that something happens so unexpectedly where they are having to pay for these expenses because it can be very expensive. And her wishes were that she wanted to be put away very well. She was elderly and, her wishes were granted, y'all, but it's a lot for people to go through. And you would not want to have to go through this, especially when you're in the grieving process. My heart goes out to anybody that has had to go through this. And, my heart just still hurts behind all of what's going on and what has just happened. I know that she's still with us, and I know that she is just transitioned and her spirit has found a new home, but it's still hard, y'all, to get over. I don't think you ever get over it, but like it's still really hard to accept, and I don't have any words for it right now, y'all. I just don't. So if anybody that has been through this or is going through it, you have my condolences. It's a lot of people that I've spoken to that has been through this. It's a lot of people that haven't been through it, and hopefully you don't have to go through it anytime soon. I don't think anybody's ever really ready for anything like this to hit their family members or their family or your friend or anybody. I don't care if they were blood related or not, but if the person meant something to you, nobody's ever prepared for anything like this. So that is something else that I wanted to talk about. This is just really a freestyle. I do want to come back on for F Your Feelings Friday because there are some issues that I would like to address. And I wanted to make a list and do some research on some stuff, but I just haven't had the time or mental fortitude to really delve into my topics like I want to. But I just felt like since this was good energy, since the weather's very beautiful right now, that I would just come on and just talk to y'all very briefly while I'm in this energy and this sunlight taken in this air, y'all. Another thing, we got to really get over ourselves as far as not coming together as a community. I know I talk about this a lot, but as far as business acumen, we need to be more supportive of one another, more considerate when we're dealing with each other. So many times I see that other communities are able to come to America, and I'm talking about every other continent on this planet. They can come over here and they can get money so easily. Like out here where I'm at, Mexicans are taking over the food truck industry. There's a taco truck on every corner, every gas station. They don't get harassed, nobody tells them to move. When I saw a group of melanated people pulling up with their food trucks, don't you know I went back over there yesterday? They had actually put up a chain so nobody could go into this empty lot where the food trucks were. And I think it's a shame that melanated people are financially disenfranchised at every turn, that they try to do something. Especially when you're trying to do something that's, bettering yourself. I think it's just very unfortunate. We also need to like stop being so competitive with one another. I talk about it a lot, but like we don't need to be competing. I've seen people that have everything. Looks like they have their lives together, y'all, and I just experienced this the other week. There are these two melanated females, and for whatever reason, one of them wanted to be very loud. She wanted to be seen. She wanted to be heard. She kept talking about her husband, talking about her daughter, talking about she was going on vacation. Where does she want to go? She wants to go to Disneyland. Like she was just telling all her personal business, y'all. And she was making some very underhanded comments about myself and another elderly lady that was there to help with these children that we were working with. And she was speaking to another teacher. And when the teacher walked in, she was not receptive of us at all. She didn't speak. It was just their demeanor was very condescending towards the both of us. So when I left out of there, because I had half a day because I was going to my real estate meeting, there was a lady, the elderly lady came and got my attention, and she was like, she said they treat you like a baby in there. She said she was never treated so ill in her life. And this lady, like I said, she had been working with children for about 24 years of her life. She said she owned a daycare. She worked with children. She had foster children, and these were autistic children that we were working with. And look, I don't have a certification. I'm not specially trained, but I have worked with autistic children before. And you're not supposed to restrain children. Let's just say that it's against the law. But in this particular classroom setting, the teacher, and I have to point this out, she's on the overweight side, was restraining this girl. And the way that she was doing it, she would sit behind the girl and make the girl pull her seat up to the desk. And if the girl tried to get up, the girl couldn't go anywhere because her seat was being held in by the teacher. And the girl was starting to get irritated. But you're not supposed to do that with children, especially autistic children. When I walked into that setting, they told me that the children were combative. They had instances of biting, hitting, punching, kicking, spitting, or whatever they said. But I didn't experience any of that. Let's just say that children sometimes respond to how you treat them. So if you're going to be combative, if you're going to be restraining them and you're going to be hostile and making comments about them where they can hear them, the comments that you're saying, how do you think a child is going to respond? They can feel all of that energy. A child just wants love and attention. And I feel that even if that's not your child, you should treat that child almost like that's one of your own. How would you want someone to treat your child if you were away? If they had cameras in that classroom setting, I think the parents would want to know that their child was being restrained. Nobody wants to have their child. And this girl was nonverbal, by the way. She doesn't speak. Okay, so that's very concerning, especially when these children are in elementary school. So I just think that we need to really pay attention also to what's going on in the school systems. I mean, I'm going to say this again. I also feel that whoever, they get to run in this campaign or whoever they decide to put into office needs to really highly delegate funding to the education system and to the school systems because I see that they're taking the funding out of schools. I see that they really need a lot of staff, a lot of more support, a lot more resources in some of these schools, and they always want to cut the funding. They want to cut the teachers' pay, and it's not fair to the children. There are children that are still struggling learning how to read, struggling learning how to add. Today I had a group of children in second grade, and they're still trying to learn how to do double digit adding, double digit subtracting, and they're confusing the children with this Common Core math nonsense. And I'm not in agreement with it. I'm not in agreement with it. And I feel that however they get the answer, as long as they get the correct answer, that's all that matters. But you want to confuse the children for what I don't know. And that's something else that needs to be addressed. And I think Donald Trump did speak on that about going ahead and getting rid of this whole school curriculum. Just go ahead and break down the whole education system and restart it again. Because I want to ask you all. These schools start at 7 a.m., 7:30 p.m. I'm sorry, 7:30 a.m. That means your child has to be up before the sun comes up. That means you're waking your child up at 5:30 a.m. to catch a bus in the dark. I've seen children in the dark just to catch the bus to go to school, and I think it's ridiculous. I think that children should not be subjected to that type of behavior. You all know that the reason that the schools were even implemented was by the Rockefellers. And that was so that the parents could go and work in the revolution. So people could work on the railroads and stuff like that. But because they needed somebody to watch their children, they implemented the school system. Excuse me. Another thing we got to talk about are these HBCUs, because this weekend they had the homecoming games going on. And you don't understand that a lot of these HBCUs, most of them, majority of these HBCUs are funded and founded by the Caucasians, and actually funded and founded by the Rockefellers. So Spelman is actually named after Laura Spelman Rockefeller. Okay? So for everybody that's out here pledging, doing all these things, these ritualistic practices, alpha, kappa, theta, whatever, please understand what you're emulating is not one of your own. This is something that the Caucasian has implemented that you're copying. HBCUs are founded majority by Caucasians. Regardless if you want to believe it or not, please do your research. There are a lot of them that people are not privy to. I think Howard is another one. I think Morehouse is another one. But yeah, just do your research on a lot of these HBCUs. They were not founded by melanated people. And y'all, even the HBCU that had the homecoming game this weekend, they had got a large foundation, a large donation from the Rockefellers. Why do you think that the Rockefellers would develop an HBCU? You really need to do your research on why they would do that. Why was education separate back then? Didn't you understand that just back in the 60s, back in the 1960s, the education systems were divided? There was segregation in the schools. So you got to think about who gets the funding and who gets the most out of their education. It's not melanated people, y'all. If anything, melanated people are miseducated on purpose. There is actually a book called the Miseducation of the Negro. I would highly recommend that y'all read that book. Read the Willie Lynch letter and just do some digging into your history. Right now, Halloween is about to come up. Halloween will be here on the 31st. Everybody's going to be out here dressing like goblins and witches and everything. But do your history on why people even practice and celebrate Halloween. They talk about the witches, they talk about ghosts, they talk about goblins. But do you understand they're making a mockery out of your history and your ancestry practices? And what I mean by that is that a lot of melanated people, they hold their ancestors in high regard because our ancestors are still with us. Okay, they're just not here in the physical, but they're here in spirit. So people would honor their ancestors. You might put water out for them, you might give them offerings, but people are offering candy and they're calling it trick or treating, right? You're dressing up like a ghost with a sheet and you're making a mockery of the spirits. And I don't take kindly to that. So people really need to do some, dig in on their history and some research on that. Another holiday that people should not partake in if you're melanated, if you're Native American, such as myself, is Thanksgiving, which is the celebrating of the slaughtering of your ancestors. You're feasting at the table to the slaughtering of your ancestors. Another one that's demonic is Christmas, which is called Saturnalia, where they actually would practice giving up the sacrifice of children. They would offer up innocent children to this deity, which is a god called Moloch, that they worship in hopes that they would have a better life. This is where the history of Christmas comes from. And the original Santa Claus, which is named Saint Krampus or Saint Nikolaus, derived from Germany. And the way that he would lure children to him is by offering them candy. But like I said, you don't understand that dressing up in a red demonic suit, setting your child in the lap of a stranger, what that does to children. You know, that's not okay, y'all. But a lot of people still practice these holidays that has nothing to do with us. So yeah, we need to really do our research on that, just like as well as see stuff flashing, as well as yeah, he has a Canon camera. Oh yeah, they must be photographers. So just like also like the New Year's, okay, the New Year doesn't come in until spring, and if you know anything about the Chinese New Year, they celebrate their New Year in the springtime. However, for whatever reason, because we have been traditioned into this Caucasian westernized lifestyle, we celebrate our New Year when everything is still dead, when everything has not blossomed, when everything is not coming back into life. We're celebrating things in a backwards manner. And really, we should be celebrating in the springtime with the Chinese, because the Chinese understand that this is when the trees and the flowers are blossoming and blooming. This is when the grass is turning green, when the animals are coming out. That's when we're supposed to be celebrating our New Year, not in the dead of winter, okay? That has nothing to do with us. And as a melanated people, we need the sunlight. We need vitamin D for our melanin, for our skin. It actually gives us a lot of vitamins. A lot of us are vitamin D deficient. If you go to the doctor, you need to check for that, because the doctors are not necessarily going to check for a lot of things for our bodies. We have to actually advocate heavily for our health. That's another thing. If you want to get an MRI done, the doctors won't even give you an MRI, even if you request it and pay for it out of pocket. They take you through this whole preliminary of you have to go to your primary care doctor and they have to order it for you if they feel that it's necessary. Don't put your life in the hands of these doctors. Take charge of your medical health. I don't care if they do have credentials and degrees. They don't know your body better than you. You've been living with your body your whole entire life. So, y'all, I just had to say that because, you know, they like to play around with people, especially if you don't advocate for yourself. Take notes with your family members and relatives if they ever are in the hospital. Make sure you have someone always there taking charge, watching over your relatives, taking notes of what nurses they're working with, what they're giving to your loved one. If they're putting anything in their IV, make sure you're documenting all of that. What prescriptions they're giving them. Make sure you have someone at that hospital basically 24/7 with your relative. And I know it's hard because people have to work and they have lives outside of that. But trust me, these people think that if your relative does not have anyone there to advocate for them, then they think they can do whatever they want to do with your relative and experiment on them. They will rush your relative to surgery. How do I know? Because we've experienced this ourselves. Yes, we've been through it in the medical field. And you all, I don't even know if this video is still out there, but there was a Caucasian scientist that actually came on YouTube, and he was speaking about the fact that they experiment on melanated people in hospitals. He was talking about the fact that the medicine that they give to melanated people does not have the same effect or impact as it does on Caucasian people, because our melanin reacts and responds differently to these medicines. So just be very mindful of that. If you are able to heal yourself in a natural, herbalistic way, please do so. Look out for the sea moss, and not just any sea moss. Make sure it's legitimate sea moss. Oh yeah, they're over there having a photo shoot. I'm about to show you. Look, I'm being so nosy. I don't know if y'all can see across the bridge. These were the dudes that had walked past just now. Oh yeah, he got a photo shoot going on, y'all. Yeah, I'm being so nosy. But yeah, so definitely do that, and you know, just try to drink alkaline water. This fake water that they're selling in the grocery store, it actually doesn't even do anything for us anymore. It can dehydrate you and dry you out because it's not real water anymore. Like the food that we're eating is not real food. We know they're all poisoning us. We know this. So even, and don't even get me started on McDonald's and fast food. Like if I talk about McDonald's, they're gonna be ready to do something with my channel. My channel has been, I don't know what's been going on, but even videos that have been posted like 3 and 4 years ago, I guess they're going back and reviewing my videos and taking them down. So I will be posting these videos for free on my Patreon. That's going to be open to the public. So if there's any information on there that could be useful, you can check out some of my information there. But a lot of things I just won't be discussing on this channel in depth because we are being censored so heavily. Also, you can check out my Rumble account at Living Legend TV. Please sign up to my Rumble account. That's Living Legend TV, where I can go into more depth the way that I wish to do. So instead of being censored and monitored by YouTube, okay? Please excuse my shirt. I had something that happened with my shirt, so I'm gonna bring that down. But yeah, I'm just out here enjoying the weather and just trying to get myself together, my thoughts, my mental clarity, my emotional clarity, and we just got to take care of ourselves, y'all. Spread joy to one another, spread knowledge to one another, and let's help one another instead of always being competitive, instead of always being so negative spirited amongst one another. That's what we need right now because we don't know what's about to happen with this country. I really advise people, if you don't have a passport, to please get one. Save up your money so that if you need to flee the country, you have some type of funds to leave this country. Have a meeting spot for your family if something goes down. What if they cut off the internet? What if they shut down the phone systems? I know these devices have been acting up. My internet has been acting up lately. My phone service has been acting crazy. A lot of things has been taking place, and I don't know if we've been invaded by, some other species or something, but a lot of things have been taking place that people are not talking about. And I think that we just need to be prepared, get some bulletproof vests, get gas masks. These are things to add to your repertoire. Just get a bunch of supplies that you might need to stock up on. If you know how to make toothpaste, if you know how to make soap, if you know how to make shampoo. I don't know how to make shampoo. Just stock up on the stuff. Toilet paper, that was a big thing for COVID. Cleaning supplies, dish detergent, laundry detergent, just all types of stuff. Yeah, I apologize for these out of control children that's out here just screaming at the ducks. Y'all should see this. Let me turn the camera around. But this is who's making all the noise. You see, they come over here. They come over here to this country, and this is how they act in public. Even in the stores, y'all, we can't go to the stores because guess what happens in the stores? They bring their children over here, and this is how their children act. But y'all wanna say melanated kids don't know how to act. No, melanated children know how to act because usually our parents have told us not to act like that in public. Okay? But it's always them coming over here doing all of that extra stuff in the stores, getting on people's nerves. And honestly, I think they should get kicked out the store. Nobody wants to hear all that noise in the store. I really don't want to hear it right now in the middle of my video. But that's just how it is in this country. America is not for melanated people. America is not for the Native Americans. I wish they would stop screaming. Even though our ancestors built this land, we poured taxes upon taxes into this land. This land is for the immigrants, okay? And I'm going to say it again. All the immigrants that come over here get all the benefits. They help them. They take care of them. They get business loans, business grants, business funding. They come over here. They start businesses with ease, and they live well. All right? Melanated females, we are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to getting any type of, help with doing what we're trying to do. This is why there's so many programs that are targeted and geared towards melanated females. Look at the SBA.gov. They have a lot of things talking about my quote unquote minority women. If you're a female, if you're a woman, why is that? Because we are the ones that's targeted the most to have lack of funding for anything that we try to do. We have it very hard. And so does the melanated male, y'all. So hopefully I can start coming back on being more regular. But like I said, I've had a lot going on behind the scenes and stuff like that. And this is something that I do enjoy. But like, I don't want to come on here if I don't have anything to talk about. I don't want to come on here just putting anything together. And I don't want to come on here just, putting any type of video out because this is a reflection of me. Brown girls are beautiful. All right. And with like that, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. It's around 6:30, almost 6:30 now. It's 6:27 p.m. The sun is slightly going down, but it's still light out here. And I'm just going to take in a few more, minutes of this nice breeze and sit here and enjoy this weather. All right. I'm signing out. You all stay blessed. Continue to walk in your divinity. And until next time, what do I always say? Continue to stay blessed. Yeah, I said that already. All right, y'all. Auf Wiedersehen. I am signing out. All right. I'll check back in with y'all later. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. All right, y'all.